it's Lux backstage at WayBack Pointfest, and I want to talk about gin blossoms, and I know the man to do it. Yeah, you ready to talk gin blossoms? Do you ever get sick of talking gin blossoms?
Sometimes.
You've been doing it for like 25, 30 years or so?
For the most part, I'm happy to have a decent job in the rock and roll biz. So I do my part, and I do it with pride and enthusiasm. And so I try to set a high standard for professionalism, across the board.
Well, you guys have been making music for such a long time, but it's not. Gin Blossom's not a band that continues to tour on your '90s music.
No, that's not true. We totally do.
No, well, I mean,
we totally do that.
You do, but like, you put out a record last year, so you're clearly still making music. You're still rocking.
We made a great new record, but we've also been doing a new Miserable Experience live tour where we play the whole album. So we absolutely are milking our back catalog.
I was going to say, I've seen, when I looked at your tour dates, it looks like you're kind of bouncing back and forth between that. There's like some dates where it's more kind of supporting the new record, and then there's dates where it's more like that, where it's the new Miserable Experience. Or you've been doing some shows with like other 90s acts over the years too.
That is true. We've spent most of this summer out with Collective Soul. We've done more than 30 shows with them since
Now's the time
end of
tour.
May, and we've been having a blast, and that's... I'm going to miss them. Tomorrow is the last show of the summer for us. It's our last show with Collective Soul. And so we're all getting all misty-eyed and trying to decide how we can get back together again. We're talking about trying to put together an Asian tour or a semi-annual Blossoms Collective tour, something like that.
That would be perfect. You guys are such a great duo. And I do love that today is the second to last date, because I feel like that's the best one. The last one, emotions are high, you're tired, you're ready to go home, but second to last show means you guys can like really blow it all out and then, worry about the downslope.
But in an environment like this where you're suddenly taken out of your normal routine, and now we've got all these other bands, and our show is only 35 minutes, and we're playing in the middle of the day. When it takes you out of your chain this close to the end of the tour, it's a little jarring. But as I was saying before, we're professionals and we got our shit together. So
you guys have played
don't worry about us.
You've played like every single type of venue there is out there. You've played every late night show. You've played SNL. You've been on movie soundtracks.
Auto dealership parking lots. Normally, what you do is you scan the horizon for the Ferris wheel, and then that's where the Gin Blossom show is.
Like, you see the inflatable waving hand guy, and you're like, oh, cool, Collective Soul is probably over there with you guys, because of course you would take them with you, right? If you were going to do a tour of the auto dealership.
Everywhere.
Well, I think the last time I saw you guys perform might have been Summerland 2012.
That's great. Everclear's here today too, so I just Wikipedia'd all their names so I could walk into their dressing room and know exactly who I was talking to. We had a great summer with Everclear. That was 2012.
Yeah, that was the last time I saw
I
you
have
guys.
a question for you. This is an alternative station, right? Do you guys play us?
Oh, yes, a lot.
Really?
Like a lot. Okay, so...
Because most alternative stations that I hear, we don't qualify. We get in those stations that are the best of the 80s, 90s, and today. No. But we are rarely played on what I think of as alternative radio. But then again, modern alternative music doesn't sound alternative to me. I hear things like Mumford and Sons on there, and I'm like, that doesn't. Where's the Stripes? Well,
we're a very special station. Our logo, 105.7 Point, everything alternative. So we kind of span. I know this is our sponsors today, Dakota Grizzly. I know, but so we play like everything. So our bread and butter, 90s. You guys, absolutely. REM. Third Eye Blind, like that's like this kind of show is our absolute wheelhouse. But we do play like, it's weird, I'll play like Billie Eilish, and then that'll stream into like Imagine Dragons, and then I'll come out of that and I'm like, okay, Pearl Jam, and then Metallica. We play it all. Okay. Like Slipknot, we got them too. Korn, we got it. Alice in Chains, we got it.
That sounds very cool.
It's and maybe that's the Midwest. I mean, maybe you can speak to that a little bit more when you're touring around. Do you feel that difference when you go interview at other stations? Are you like, okay, this is obviously a very indie alt station? Do you feel that when you're?
Well, I can tell the difference once I get the vibe, like through this conversation. But it requires some conversation, some interaction for me to really figure that out.
I mean, I'm not expecting you to go and like look up every station or anything before you get there, because like, as a musician, I'm sure you wake up and you're like, okay, what day is it? What city am I in?
It's always Monday.
Yeah.
in my mind, I wake up every day. It's just another Monday.
Instead of asking what day it is, like, what city are we in? What is the city we're in?
Often that's when you're on tour like this, there's basically two pieces of information I need to know. What is showtime, and when does the bus leave town?
Yep, the important things.
And,
where's the food?
In the younger days, that meant, okay, anywhere in between those things, I can just go out onto town and just party and hit strip clubs and stuff. But these days, it's more about exercise and sleep and proper diet.
The touring has really changed like that. Also, you see a lot more kids, a lot more like wives, kids, dogs on tour, and definitely a lot more exercising, and definitely a lot less of the strip club action. Not that St. Louis doesn't have some good strip clubs for you.
Probably because of veteran groups. I mean, we've been at it for a long time. We went through for the first 10 years, you get to Chicago for the first time, and you're like, yeah, we got to go do this, we got to go do
and it was
everything,
the 90s.
And we're out all night, and then once you get past that, those first couple of decades, then you start to just mellow out a bit, And I'm 54 now, so in order to stay,
you look great. Don't look 54.
In order to be able to perform at a high level, which is very important to me, I adhere to my routine. And I try to. So
that's basically what you want to tell the new bands. That's how you create longevity, is actually taking care of yourself.
Well, no, the longevity comes from compromise.
Oh God, yeah.
It's very much like a marriage. You have to pick and choose your battles. In a band like ours, we have a very democratic dynamic. There are a number of bands on this tour or on this show where it's one guy who runs the band and everybody works for that guy. Not my group. There's no one person that has any more authority.
That's awesome.
I get a lot more camera time, but that doesn't translate into any sort of authority or credibility.
Oh, man. Well, one last thing. You're obviously from Tempe. Are you guys in Tempe?
We say Tempe, Arizona.
Tempe. Is that like you guys coming in saying Missouri? But you wouldn't say that because you're
I might say
worldly.
that if I was trying to be a jackass.
No. Well, I wasn't. I just couldn't pronounce it right. But Tempe. Oh God! Now I'm going to script. Tempe. I can do this. Are you guys there now? Are you guys in California? Where do you guys kind of home? Where's the home base
for
the band?
We're sort of spread out. The band is still based largely out of Arizona, and that's where, if we've got to rehearse or something, that's where we would go. But a couple of us live in California. I now live in New York on Long Island, which I hate. And but we spend most of our time on the road. About 50% of our time is spent traveling. We do. This year we're doing over 105 shows, so that's
I got exhausted thinking about it.
160, 170 days
Yeah.
out away from home. So that's a little more than half the time. But I do go home to Arizona often. I have a boat there, and so I go visit my boat. And we just released. I'm going to plug.
Yeah.
We just released a new music video. It's on our YouTube
Yes.
page. And we filmed it out on my boat.
I saw it. That's what I was going to ask about. You just went ahead. You know what? You just do the interview for me. I was like, so when am I getting a trip on that boat? That looks gorgeous. So you know what? It's been a year since the last record. Are you guys going to work on something else once you're done? And do you do that?
Yeah.
You guys get back together in Arizona kind of to do that, or out in LA?
We kind of write separately, and then we get together, or we send each other demos. So we're going to start that process soon. But I'm also hoping. I've been working with this other band. I get to sing lead for the Smithereens. And
this other band.
Yeah.
Yep. Just this little other band.
I'm hoping to make a record with the Smithereens.
Oh, yes, please.
Next year. So Jim, the guitar player,
yeah, cool.
He just sent me some demos, and when my plate is clear, within the next few months, I'm going to start writing lyrics for Smithereen songs.
Oh, that's so awesome.
And I'm so excited. In October, they are being inducted into the New Jersey Music Hall of Fame, and I am going to be there to sing for them, and I'm super
See, that's the
excited
bonus of
about
living in Long Island. Easy commute on over there.
That's the one advantage I can think of. That, and of course, world-class pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got the square situation, the flat. St. Louis pizza doesn't inspire a lot of love from out-of-towners. Have you tried our pizza? It's Provel cheese.
I'm sure I have.
Square piece is very flat.
We
got to get into pizza.
Well,
thanks for taking some time with me. I can't wait to see you perform.
My pleasure. Yeah,
go check out the new music video.
15 minutes.
If you don't already have Mixed Reality, make sure that you have it. And we'll see you again soon and later today.
Thank you for playing our band on your radio
station. Of course.
station.
Dude, those hits, they play themselves, man. I just press play.
Yay.